Honey, it's getting real nasty out here in these streets. Did you guys hear about Justin Bieber? He just unfollowed Usher. Everybody's been talking about it. They said behind the scenes, he don't want nothing to do with Usher. Usher has been trying to get with Justin Bieber to do something together to make it seem like everything is fine, because we know the rumors. The rumors are that Usher purposely introduced Justin Bieber knowing that Diddy was going to essay him and do all those horrible things to him. That's what people are saying on the internet. And Usher, he tries to give this face like everything is fine, nobody needs to worry, by bringing people together. But they said Justin, he don't got no time for him. He don't want nothing to do with him. And honey, y'all got to check this video out. It tells a more interesting tales that a lot of y'all may not have known about the relationship between Justin and Usher. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot. Check this video out, honey.
Justin Bieber has just unfollowed Usher. And with Jay-Z and J-Lo both involved in lawsuits connected to Diddy, it looks like Usher might actually be next. Tapes of Usher at Diddy's freak-off parties, along with witness testimony that puts him at the scene of the alleged assault, have just come out. And Usher is scrambling.
But okay, I'm here, and there's a lot to cover. Justin Bieber, is continuing the purge. He has now moved to unfollow Usher, okay, his original mentor. So this is a very big story. And the reason why we should discuss this and we should not diminish what is happening, it's not celebrity drama. This is actually the fall of Babylon that we are witnessing, Hollywood Babylon, that is. Something happened in the background and people started noticing some things last year. In 2024, you guys will remember that Usher was tapped to perform at the Super Bowl. And people therefore assumed, because usually when you are tapped to perform the Super Bowl, you bring in all your hits, you call up all your homies, there's all of these guest surprises of people jumping on stage, and it's a trip down memory lane. So everyone was really hyped and assuming that Justin Bieber would be on the stage with him, especially because Justin Bieber went to this Super Bowl. So the signs were there. But then news began breaking that actually, no, Justin Bieber had snubbed him, that he had turned down Usher. People were wondering if this was true or just, usual rumor mill in the media. But then Usher confirmed it on the Breakfast Club. Kind of seemed like he was trying to make it seem like it wasn't a big deal, that here I am the mentor and he turned me down. Here is what Usher said explaining that on the Breakfast Club.
Why didn't things work out with Justin Bieber?
You know what? They did work out with Justin. I honored and recognized that my brother, I think that it might have been the fact that he was just, wanting to tell a different story right now. There's no love lost or anything like that.
It seems like he's struggling to find words there, doesn't it? He's saying, I think that maybe he's just trying to write a different story. What does that mean? I think that. You've been his mentor for decades. Shouldn't you know that? Almost decades, right? Shouldn't you know the reason why he didn't want to perform with you? Saying that he's trying to write a different story.
Usher signed Justin Bieber to his record company, LaFace Records, back when Justin was just 13 years old. At the time, Justin was a huge fan of Usher and wanted nothing more than to be mentored by him. Now Justin Bieber has unfollowed Usher on Instagram, refused to perform with him on stage, and done basically everything he can to distance himself. According to fans, this is all because of what Usher did to Justin. The real reason Usher fought against Justin Timberlake to be able to sign Bieber was actually much darker, and we're going to talk about all of that today.
I ain't gonna stop you like that, but this is only a tease. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you, Island Def Jam recording artist, Justin Bieber. It's getting ready to go down. Just so you know, we're in the studio right now working on it. Get ready because it's gonna be big. Ain't that right, Justin?
That's right.
That's right. So look out. We're coming.
Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in, covered it, and managed him, and got custody of him, and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there.
When Usher was just 14 years old, his mother sent him to Puffy Flavor Camp so Usher could be mentored by Diddy. Usher thought Diddy was going to teach him how to be a music artist, but in reality, Diddy never wanted to mentor Usher. In Usher's own words, he had to stop Diddy several times from exposing him to sexual material, and it was actually Sean Combs who had introduced him to sex. Why was 45-year-old Diddy teaching a 14-year-old to have sex? And why is Usher so reluctant to go back to Diddy?
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn some... Yeah, that's what it's called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
Not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans, Jodeci, Mary J. Blige. They ain't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
Do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like, like a living. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Footage from when Usher was with Diddy and what Diddy was exposing Usher to has actually come out, and it's much worse than what you think. Look at this and imagine a 14-year-old between all these adults. This is what Usher was exposed to daily.
Yeah, we want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it. You did.
No. I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, I don't want it to come close to the bed at all. Usher look like he fresh off goddamn plane. I should.
From the guard stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but that's how. I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the frosted flakes because he used to always get up early. Now
Yo, what the fuck did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the frosted flakes. And we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was stupid. This is having a good time.
Usher was reportedly tired of what Diddy was doing to him and wanted to escape, so he used Justin as a replacement. Usher signed Justin Bieber and handed over legal guardianship of Justin Bieber to Diddy. Usher knew what kind of man Diddy was, and in his own words, he would never have sent his own child to stay with Diddy, but he still sent Justin anyway. For Usher, sexual abuse had been normalized, and it's something that he had to face too when he was a young artist.
think that I was just, living in this shame, living in all this sort of stuff of my past, and I wasn't able to move on.
Do you think the person that the you of then was on a path of self-destruction?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would have, for sure. 100%. Yeah. It would have been no bueno. It was bad. I don't know if I'd be alive, for sure. It was dark, but I want to definitely tell my story so that if that resonates to anybody, that they can hopefully learn from it.
Well, for me, music comes from somewhere.
Right.
Maybe it comes from this youthful naivety and this desire to escape something. And then you get out there in front of the world, and then it comes from a place of wanting more of it.
Yeah. I mean, just think about how young I was and so impressionable. And you have everybody telling me how awesome I am at all times, Like, I just want people to understand, like, the psychology behind why I potentially could have problems. So, yeah, thank you for being here and helping me tell that story. But yeah, just protecting those moments, because people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Do you realize how important the story is? Every time I have a conversation with someone who's been through this unique type of experience, I'm just searching for some kind of truth that can help.
I commend you for going there and asking the tough questions and the things that people don't want to talk about, and they don't want to go there because it's revealing, and I want people to take a look at my story, and hopefully my words can make a difference.
Sources close to Diddy have all verified these claims for years. Gene Deal, Diddy's bodyguard, even remembers seeing Diddy sexually harass Usher. There were even reports in the music industry that Diddy's sexual abuse had sent Usher to the hospital. Medical records of this case were scrubbed because of Diddy, but apparently this was common knowledge back then. In exchange for sexual favors, Diddy would help Usher's career grow.
If you don't mind me asking, because I know the topic is sensitive, what happened to Usher?
I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not going to speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that, and they may be doing something, they may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executives.
Where did you hear it?
Bro, you know how people be talking, and we was around some people, something like that, and then some people might say, yo, I don't F with that dude. And at the time, I didn't even know who the F Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when somebody say, yo, man, I don't F with them niggas, man, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent her to the hospital? Man, Nick was bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard, and that's what happened. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp.
Officers who raided Diddy's Miami mansion have talked about how baby oil is actually just the tip of the iceberg compared to what they found inside. Allegedly, there was clear evidence, apart from the tapes, that showed Diddy to be complicit in child sexual abuse. Some officers have even gone as far as to say that at this point, Diddy's only option is to plead guilty and cooperate. The evidence found inside his mansion makes him look worse than Jeffrey Epstein, and there's a reason why the government decided to raid Diddy's mansion the way they did. According to the officers, Diddy's mansion had rooms that were made for the sole purpose of rape, and Diddy is worse than Epstein. Once Diddy's trial starts, all of this information will be revealed, and Diddy is going down.
For years, P. Diddy's gotten a hall pass. He's actually created his own kingdom where he makes his own rules, and you got to follow his rules or you get penalized. And guess what, Laura? He's now in a federal penitentiary, and for the first time in his life, he's facing his own fate at the hands of somebody else. And I will tell you, Laura, I've done federal cases, that's not the place you want to be in federal court. 90% of federal criminal indictments brought down are pled out, right? A plea deal is brought. And of the only 10% left, 90% of those defendants that go to trial, they lose. So he is looking at a daunting uphill battle to fight these horrible charges.
Now, Brian, one of the DHS agents involved in this raid on his Miami mansion described what he saw inside the house, saying that, in my opinion, he's as bad as Epstein. These women are young, either barely legal or barely illegal. Brian, this sounds like he was a monster.
Yeah, Laura, I will tell you that this indictment was very detailed, by the way, too. Your viewers should know there were over 300 subpoenas served, over 50 witnesses interviewed. Why is that important? Because the federal prosecutors aren't going to be leveling an indictment like this unless they have ammunition and they have cause to bring it. And the core issue at this case, which the feds have to prove, which it's looking like they can, is that P. Diddy essentially controlled these women, that he threatened them with stopping the money that he was paying them, that he spiked their drinks with drugs, that's been alleged in the indictment, and that he basically told them, I'm going to ruin your life unless you engage in these freak-offs. And that's really what the prosecutors got to prove. And if you've got some victims coming forward to talk about that, you've got financial records that prove that, travel itinerary that proves that, P. Diddy has very little defense. And I got to tell you, Laura, if this guy wants to fight these charges, he's going to have to step up and walk into a courtroom and talk about it. If he doesn't testify in this case, he is dead on arrival.
Well, who else is on these tapes? I mean, will the tapes ever see the light of day? I mean, that's what everybody's talking about. Who else is there? It's like with the Epstein, his pleasure island. Who else? Who went? Who was there? What's the manifest? But Brian, chances 1 being least likely, 10 being most likely. Will we learn of other celebrities that were at these freak-offs?
Yeah, I think you've got an 8 or a 9 for a likelihood you're going to hear about it. Why? Because there are going to be more indictments coming down, Laura. That's an important point here, because he's being charged with racketeering and conspiracy. You're going to have, well, let's start on the inner circle. You're going to have former bodyguards. You're going to possibly have former musicians that he was with. You've got personal assistants that are going to be, they're already talking about this. Some of those are likely to be charged. And then guess what? If you've got some music moguls that are sending women over to these alleged freak-offs, then you've got some top people that are going to start crumbling too, because they're all part of what's called this criminal enterprise.
The rumors that Diddy was not involved in child abuse is unbelievable. According to Gene Deal, where there's smoke, there's fire. Gene Deal is hinting at the fact that there's a reason why everyone in the industry has heard the same story regarding Usher.
This guy is walking around threatening other actors. People. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He's lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive, than have to go to hell and face that shit. He got a chance to repent now. changed his life.
You mentioned minors, you know, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of like suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and you know, they're making a lot of allegations.
Same way they made allegations about Usher. Usher was younger.
I mean, do you think that there's any credibility to these allegations?
When there's smoke, there's fire. Why would Diddy be tapping his kid in his chest to see if he wired? And asking him, are you wired? Why would he be confronting that kid? Why would Justin Bieber make a song about, what is it? I got smashed at a Diddy party or something like that? There's reasoning behind all this. So where there's smoke, there's fire, Ken. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, Justin, he's been real quiet about this. I mean, I think like a lot of the other celebrities.
I was reading some, Cam, and the kid said after he went to Diddy camp, he started using drugs so heavy and was smashed every day. The kid who wanted to be an artist in the music business, all of a sudden to start getting high and drinking and drugging, popping pills and smoking. For a kid to do that?
I mean, usually trauma.
Or a Diddy party.
Things aren't going all that great for Diddy's other associates, too. Jennifer Lopez has just been named as a material witness in a sexual assault lawsuit that claims Jennifer Lopez has video footage of Diddy raping people, but she failed to do anything about it. In his lawsuit, alleged victim Cardello Smith claims that Diddy raped him in 1997 during a party at a Holiday Inn in Detroit, where Cardello was a bartender. Cardello has named Jennifer Lopez a material witness in this case, and according to Cardello, Diddy recorded the alleged sexual assault, and J-Lo was shown the footage.
But going back to Cardello Smith's filing, his notice says that Jennifer Lynn Lopez, aka J-Lo, aka Jenny from the Block, quote, will be called as a material witness and expert to Sean Combs' viewing, possession, and distribution of his sexual assault upon the plaintiff in 1997, and the orders of defendant Sean Combs forcing Jennifer Lopez to remain silent about the videotaped sexual assault of plaintiff by defendant. Plaintiff states that the material witness Jennifer Lynn Lopez, also known as J-Lo and Jenny from the Block, was engaged in a relationship with the defendant Sean Combs during 1999 and 2001, and that the sexual assault of the plaintiff was recorded, distributed, and held by the defendant at his New York residence and recording studio. And during the relationship with Jennifer Lopez, she was made privy to this video that was taken by Sean Combs and his employee Kirk Burrows. She, J-Lo, has known this video existed and was in existence and took no action to make it known to anyone in law enforcement, and that she was even questioned by New York Police Detective Derek Palmer about this matter, and that the report will show that her answers to this tape was and still remains a resounding yes to its existence. And again, Cardello Smith writes that he wants to call Officer Derek Palmer as a witness because he says Palmer is the one who questioned Lopez and believes that he will have testimony that could help his case. As I mentioned, Diddy's legal team has called for this entire case to be thrown out. Cardello Smith has filed a massive response to that request that totaled more than 200 pages. Probably half of it was just straight up copies of case law that seems to support his arguments, word for word. It's something out of like a legal textbook. There's so much to slog through, but I kind of want to give you some of the highlights. So first, in addition to the claims of rape and a cover-up, Cardello Smith also claims and alleges that Combs was violent towards his loved ones. At times, Cardello Smith addresses alleged threats against his family. Other times, he says Combs actually caused serious injuries to his brother. His response reads, defendant used threats of murder to force the plaintiff to not bring the case to any court of law enforcement until the homes of the defendant were raided by Homeland Security, that the plaintiff knew it was a safe time to bring the case, and that is why we are here at this juncture. And Cardell Smith argued that fear for his own safety and the safety of his family is one of the main reasons that he waited so long to report the alleged rape, and says that that reason alone should override any issue with the statute of limitations, that these claims might otherwise be time barred. And he also argues that while he's been in prison, fellow inmates and prison guards have threatened him on behalf of Sean Combs.
Jay-Z has recently also come under fire after it was revealed that his legal team was actually involved in pressuring and bribing key witnesses. Lawyers from Jay-Z's team showed up to the houses of victims dressed as FBI agents and even flashed fake badges. These victims were later bribed with $10,000 and asked to sue the person bringing the case against Diddy. There are video clips and even voice memos that incriminate these people. And much like Diddy, it looks like time is up for Jay-Z, J-Lo, and Usher too.
While maintaining he'd let the matter settle itself in court. But now in a new lawsuit, a Texas man is claiming Jay-Z's lawyers are bribing people to sue Busby and his law firm. This 13-page lawsuit was filed on January 3rd in Harris County, Texas, and the plaintiff in the filing is being represented by none other than Busby's law firm, who filed the suit on his behalf. Now, Jose Maldonado, who is the plaintiff in this suit, is suing Jay-Z's attorneys and his company Rock Nation, but not Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z himself. According to the lawsuit, the defendants in this suit are Marcy Bryan Croft, her law firm MJ Legal, Rock Nation, and the law firm who is representing Jay-Z, Quinn Emanuel Urquhart and Sullivan. They allege the defendants conspired to obstruct justice by engaging in shadowy operatives to illegally get more than 24 current and former clients of Busby law firm to turn around and sue them. The suit claims Rock Nation is financing this alleged effort, while attorneys Marcy Croft and the law firm Quinn Emanuel are orchestrating this whole thing. According to the suit, the defendants' agents were pretending to work for the state of Texas and allegedly flashed fake badges, which the suit says wasn't very smart or careful, but also illegal. The suit states the defendants' agents offered as much as $10,000 to a former client to sue the Busby law firm, but the so-called agents were allegedly caught on audio tape red-handed. The suit claims attorney Marcy Croft, who is a lawyer but also a member of Team Rock, was orchestrating that whole effort. Then in another recording, those agents were describing in great detail the alleged criminal conspiracy. The suit claims they went so far to admit the lawsuits would be reported in the press, and some former clients already accepted money to join that alleged effort. As I mentioned, Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, isn't named as a defendant in the lawsuit. However, the suit claims Rock Nation and Jay-Z are synonymous, given the mogul is the founder and chairman. The lawsuit acknowledges Busby's law firm filed the rape lawsuit against Jay-Z in New York federal court, and as a result, Jay-Z sued Busby's law firm in Los Angeles state court. But the suit claims while all of that legal back and forth was going on, Jay-Z's attorneys who represent himself and his Rock Nation denied in open court and in the press their involvement in the alleged scheme. He claims the defendants used him as a pawn. He alleges on behalf of Marcy Croft, 2 people attempted to contact him many times and went so far as to go to what they believe to be Maldonado's home. Instead, they went to his dad's house and allegedly identified themselves as federal officers. After realizing they were at the wrong home, they continued to contact Maldonado, and Maldonado claims they were pushy. Once they got in touch with him, he claims those individuals said they were with the state, and they were putting together a lawsuit on behalf of Marcy Croft and the company she worked for. The suit alleges Croft said she would assign Maldonado's case to someone who could get him a lot of money. Instead, Maldonado contacted the Busby law firm, and now they're suing for solicitation and civil conspiracy. In a statement to the Houston Chronicle, Busby said, quote, "The conduct alleged by Mr. Maldonado is illegal and unethical. We know investigators have gone all over the United States illegally contacting our former clients to try to entice them with money to sue our firm. According to Mr. Maldonado, we now know who is behind this effort. We won't be intimidated nor deterred in our important work. I expect more lawsuits will follow as we continue to hear former clients report this egregious conduct," end quote. But Marcy Croft fired back against the allegations, saying the lawsuit reeks of desperation. She also told the Houston Chronicle, quote, "For over 25 years, I've dedicated my career to exposing and dismantling networks of fraud and manipulation. I didn't ask to be a part of this fight, but now that he's dragged me into it, he should know that I'm not someone who backs down. Mr. Busby should be worried. Truth and justice are on my side, and I have every intention of holding him accountable."
Justin Bieber cutting ties with Usher. might just be the tip of the iceberg. And with law enforcement now digging deeper, it looks like this story is far from over. What do you think? Is justice finally catching up? Or is there more to this story than we know? Let us know your thoughts.
Ooh, honey, when I tell y'all, did y'all see that? Did y'all see that, honey? Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot, and I'll see you guys on the next upload, okay?